Oh, you thought today was an easy Monday? I did too. And then all of a sudden, more breaking news. William Kyle III has joined Devin Williams in entering the transfer portal. Let's get down to business.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, everybody, to this edition of the Locked On UCLA podcast. I'm your host, Zach Anderson-Yoxsimer. Thanks for making this show your first listen each and every day. It's free wherever you get your podcast, and it's available on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for your support. It's your team every day by the minute. Craziness, because I literally just finished uploading and doing another podcast about Devin Williams. And then seconds later, it seems like it wasn't the case, William Kyle III also enters the transfer portal. So if you're catching one episode before the other, Devin Williams entered first. William Kyle III is next. And I wasn't necessarily sure that would be the case, but William Kyle, who I thought could have been a key contributor in the next season, could have been a unique big that Mick Cronin didn't utilize as much this year. He is also heading to the portal. Again, this is a guy who was a little undersized, a 6'9 junior, so he's heading to the portal as a senior, went to the NCAA tournament with South Dakota State, was one of their defensive MVPs in the Summit League, carried the Jackrabbits to the tournament in 2024, got to go to the tournament in the Big Dance with UCLA as well. He has also entered the transfer portal. So those are two bigs UCLA's lost. The question, it seems like I've seen from multiple UCLA sources, was a Daimata heading into today, and that's maybe more emotional because he didn't necessarily commit to playing to UCLA next year. He's like, I just need rest after the season. But here are two bigs behind him. Devin Williams, who is redshirting this year, gone. And now William Kyle, who is also gone. And some might have thought William Kyle, after his dominant performance against Iowa, 28 minutes, 6 of 7, had 12 points, was absolutely electric against the Hawkeyes. That kick-started the UCLA winning streak back in mid-January, over 2 months ago. One would have thought that would have led to more minutes. No, one game-winning block against Wisconsin, and then some double-digit minutes against USC, Penn State in a couple of wins. Had to play a lot of minutes against Wisconsin in the Big Ten quarterfinal, and with Mata in the lineup against Tennessee. He didn't crack the lineup all too much. Shot 70% from the field, averaged 3 points per game and a rebound. But it really just didn't work out for UCLA and William Kyle. Again, this is a guy with his South Dakota State numbers. I'm going to pull these up for you right now. At South Dakota State, in 67 games, started almost 50 times, so started majority of the time as a Jackrabbit, averaged 11 plus points per game, 5 rebounds, and a block and a half per game in 67 contests. That is elite defense, and he played in every game for South Dakota State. Now, Cronin mentioned he did miss, I believe, what was the Gonzaga game and the Nebraska game this year, where he had a surgery. I don't think it was ever clarified what it was, but he did have to miss with the surgery. Cronin even alluded to this in the postgame, how the season was thrown off a little bit when Daly got a little hurt, Daimata started the season off hurt, and William Kyle had a little bit of a surgery, but he is somebody that I thought could have been a key contributor, right? Somebody who has 6 double-doubles in his career, was elite athletically, but if we're being honest, the offense wasn't there to translate at this Power 4 level. Not in the Big Ten. He's a little undersized. The athleticism, the defense is there, but the offense wasn't, I think, there enough for Mick Cronin to play him, when in the early part of the season, UCLA would go small. Eric Daly Jr., they would go Tyler Bilodeau as the 5. Mata wasn't out there. William Kyle wasn't out there. So that means Mick Cronin's out there for business. Again, here are the options. It's either more playing time, a different NIL deal or more, or Mick Cronin telling this guy to go out. I don't know what it is, but those are the options. That is how this operates. Kids leave, coaches tell kids to leave, and then there's always money on the table. Those are the options. That is what happens for these players when they're like, I can transfer as many times as I want. I want to utilize my last year of eligibility with more playing time. And he's already played in the tournament. He's led a team to the tournament. He has been on a team that made the tournament at a higher level and gotten a win. So William Kyle is a guy that with a high field goal percentage, maybe with somewhere else, maybe he can be a high mid-major. Maybe he can go to a certain level WCC team, maybe a Mountain West team. I'm not sure what he's looking at, what his options are, but that's a guy who was a Summit League Defensive Player of the Year. All right. He helped win that Wisconsin game because he came off the bench and got the game-winning block to beat a very good Badger team. This is a guy who is very good, and I was hoping could have gotten a lot more minutes this year and especially next year if the Bruins went big. I like the very sparingly used Mata Kyle lineup. You got some offense, you got some size in the post, some backup when it came to length, some backup on the defensive end if you had athleticism. But Cronin, as much as he said he really wanted to try it, didn't try it unless he absolutely had to just a couple of times. Maybe 2, if not 3 times did he utilize it, but unfortunately it's another Bruin who came in the portal and is also leaving. So that means of the class of 23, UCLA has lost 4 of the 6 commits. For the quick fix 6, I think that Ben Bolcher of the LA Times called the 6 transfers. Of these 6 guys, now you see that William Kyle III is gone, and there could be more. I'm refreshing trying to see, hey, who else might be gone? And at the moment, I don't see that anybody else is leaving, but it is significant to note that there are more spots, more players who might be somewhere looking down the line, right? I was thinking Dominic Harris would be the next one, unless he stays at UCLA, and that would be shocking, but he would be a clear candidate to leave. I didn't know if William Kyle would be that guy, but if he's sitting behind Mata, wasn't getting a lot of time when clearly UCLA struggled with size and he wasn't getting run time, it does make sense for this move to be made from Kyle's point of view. Okay, so we wish him the best. Hopefully he gets a good deal. Between him and Devin Williams, Kyle is the more proven player on the open market. Williams is more of a prospect with his limited usage in 3 years. Kyle's looking for that immediate plug-and-play opportunity where he could probably go and win. So that now leaves 2 spots open. You mix in Dominic Harris, who is another guy I mentioned in the previous episode. I mentioned in the wrap-up post-game wise for UCLA versus Tennessee. Who would it make sense for him to leave? Yes, he didn't get any time. He still has another year of eligibility. And where does that leave Eric Freeney? And where does that leave Brandon Williams? Is Cronin going to tell these guys to go? I know Dylan Andrews has not been a favorite from the fan base because of his play, but Cronin's trusted him. Or any of those guys potentials to leave? I'm not sure, but hey, already day 1 of the portal, 2 Bruins out. Now, if you look at it from the key contributors, are they the core of it? I wouldn't say Devin Williams is, nor would William Kyle have been that core that you need. You have to keep. It is disappointing to see them go. It's disappointing to see that, hey, guys brought in or leaving the next year. That's the day and age of NIL, of transfer portal, of, hey, we need to win. Cronin is feeling the heat. As I mentioned in the other podcast about the Devin Williams transfer, this is a big-time moment for Cronin. He has a missed NCAA tournament, a second-round exit after getting all the, not all, but enough NIL to fund 6 different spots, practically fund a scholarship, if you will, for a UCLA player to be on the team this year. Not a scholarship position, just an NIL scholarship, quote-unquote. And if that led to just a second-round exit, the heat is already turning up. I could see from the fans on social media. Do they want him to go? Does he want to go? Does he want to go to the Midwest? I think he wants to be at UCLA, but I could be wrong because he is a Midwest guy, go be closer to his father. I'm not sure, but the heat is turning up. And after that loss to Tennessee, this is a big season for UCLA as to, hey, was that Final Four run a fluke, or have they been unlucky just to not get back there with injuries and miracle buzzer beaters? Okay, it's crazy how things can change and how much March Madness can make it crazier, but the portal is truly open for business, and Cronin's got to get to work. Like, it is something that's going to keep us up and talking for the rest of March heading into April. All right, and we'll be with you guys through it all. And maybe you're tired, right? You're like, oh man, there's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about. You're gonna stay up. You're gonna watch all this content. The days are getting longer. You have more sunshine to go do more things. Maybe you're tired. You still haven't figured out that lost hour of sleep from a couple weeks ago. 5-Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine, all the madness, all the craziness of the portal. It means more time for fun and consuming all this content, but you need a little energy to boost you through. Maybe you're watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf afterwards. The 5-hour energy gives you a quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. And hey, go to Tropical Burst. It's a go-to for a quick boost with these longer days if you want to go out for a hike or just stay up and listen to all this content. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Go to 5-Hour Energy. Grab a 5-Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. That's going to do it for another transfer portal breaking news edition of Locked On UCLA. 2 in one day. Now, if a third player decides to leave, we're going to wait for the next day. All right, that's a lot. I've thrown up a lot of episodes. We're going to wait, and I'm assuming, almost guaranteeing there will be another player to leave, and that means Cronin is getting down to work. Didn't want to talk about it at 12:40 a.m. on the East Coast when he was in Lexington, but they've gotten back home. The portal's open, and that means players are making their decisions about their future immediately. Okay? That's why you want to be here with Locked On UCLA. Like, comment, subscribe, download. We're going to talk about it all March, all offseason long here on Locked On UCLA. 8 clap time, baby. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA. Fight, fight, fight. This has been Locked On UCLA. Zach signing off. Go Bruins.